It's obviously way too early to hand out real grades for the 2025 NFL Draft, but halfway through the season, we've seen enough flashes, disappointments, and surprises to at least have some fun with it. Every team walked into April with dreams that their first round pick would change everything, and while some have delivered exactly that, others are starting to look like early uh-oh moments. So let's go through every first rounder one by one and grade how they've looked through the midpoint of the 2025 NFL season. Starting off with the first overall pick, Cam Ward. Ward hasn't really been given a full shot to take over the offense yet, but when he has been on the field, you can see the flashes, the arm talent, the mobility, and those moments where you just know he's special, but he's still adjusting to NFL speed. It's not a disaster by any means, but it hasn't been the breakout fans hoped for either. A solid B feels fair for now. Promise without production yet. At number 2, Travis Hunter. The hype was unreal leading up to the draft. People were calling him a generational talent, the next Charles Woodson type two-way star, and to be fair, before he got hurt, you could see why. He wasn't dominating like a top 2 pick should, but he was flashing all over the field. The big downside here is that the team traded up a ton to get him, and you can't ignore that draft capital. Considering his injury and the price to move up, a B2 feels right for now. Still a special player, but not a return on investment just yet. The third pick, Abdul Carter, has been one of the most quietly impactful rookies in the league. The stats don't tell the full story. He's not leading in sacks or tackles, but what he's doing up front has completely transformed that defense. He's freeing up guys like Brian Burns and making that entire front 7 more dangerous. You can tell this guy is a foundational piece. It's an easy A. 4th overall, Will Campbell. This one feels like a win. Campbell hit the ground running with a strong start, and even though he had a rough game against Myles Garrett recently, that's just part of being a young tackle in the NFL. It's Myles Garrett. No shame in that. He's still the kind of player you build around, and Patriots fans wouldn't change a thing if they could. That's an A pick. With the 5th pick, Mason Graham. He's been decent, not bad by any stretch, but considering the draft position, you kind of expected a little more value. It wasn't a bad pick, just maybe not a great one given the alternatives. A B+ fits where he's at. Solid player, not special yet. 6th, Ashton Jeanty. The running back class as a whole has been kind of underwhelming, so far Jeanty's not playing poorly. He's just stuck behind a banged up offensive line that's giving him no room to work. His flashes are there, but the production isn't consistent. Given the situation, I'll be lenient and give him a B+. He's better than his numbers suggest. 7th, Armand Membu. Boring pick on draft night, but one of the smartest ones. The Jets needed to solidify their offensive line, and Membu has done exactly that. He's been great and has locked down that tackle spot for years to come. Sometimes the smart pick is the best pick. That's an easy A. At number 8, Teteroa McMillan. He's been electric. Right now, he's competing with Tyler Warren and Emeka Egbuka for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's been a spark for the Panthers offense and has made Bryce Young look better. Sure, the drops are frustrating, but you can't deny how dynamic he is. If he can clean that up, he's got elite potential. For now, he gets an A-. 9th, Kelvin Banks. Very similar story to Membu. Not flashy, but really good. The team around him is still rebuilding, but he's doing his job and holding up well against tough competition. Another A for a steady, reliable tackle. 10th, Colston Loveland. He's barely being used in the offense. The potential is there, but the production isn't. And when you see someone like Tyler Warren thriving, it makes this pick look even worse in comparison. That's a C. 11th, Michael Williams. This was always a developmental pick. Tons of raw potential, but not an immediate star. Unfortunately, the production hasn't come, and now he's injured. Given everything, a C+ feels right. 12th, Tyler Booker. I actually like this player a lot and think he fits his team well, but you can't help thinking they could have traded down, still gotten him, and picked up more draft capital. The value just wasn't perfect. Still, solid player, so a B+. 13th, Kenneth Grant. This one's rough. He's been invisible on a terrible team, and while defensive tackles take time to develop, this team had way too many needs to spend such a premium pick here. You can't sugarcoat it. That's an F so far. 14th, Tyler Warren, one of the best picks in the entire draft. He's been amazing, fits the system perfectly, and is one of the biggest reasons the Colts are overachieving right now. Easy, a plus. 15th, Jalen Walker. Tough one to judge. You see the potential and understand why they took him, but it hasn't clicked yet. It's early, so I'll give him a B-, but you definitely want to see more in the second half of the year. 16th, Walter Nolen. Hasn't played a single snap yet. He's close to returning, but at this point, it's impossible to grade based on anything tangible. Given the situation, this has to be an F for now, though it could easily change once he sees the field. 17th, Shamar Stewart. Between the offseason drama and a disappointing start, it's been messy. But to be fair, the team's defensive line has been awful, and that's not all on him. He was always a long-term project, and he's shown some promise even if the results aren't there yet. A B feels fair. 18th, Gray Zabel. Quietly one of the better rookies in the league. He's been fantastic for a team most people didn't expect to be good, and he's helped stabilize things up front. That's an A. 19th, Emeka Egbuka. He's been everything you could have hoped for and more. He's elite. Flat out. Maybe Baker Mayfield's resurgence is helping, but Egbuka looks like a true WR1 and is the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. A plus without hesitation. 20th, Jahdae Barron. Playing on a great defense can make life easier, but he's holding his own and making plays when it matters. Solid all-around player. B+. 21st, Derek Harmon. Probably the best interior lineman in the class so far. He's benefiting from playing on a stacked Steelers front, but that shouldn't take away from how well he's performing. B+ feels right. 22nd, Omarion Hampton. He looked good early on, but the injury derailed his season. It's unfortunate because he was producing and had real potential. Running back injuries are scary, especially this early, but I'll stick with a B since the talent is clearly there. 23rd, Matthew Golden. Not terrible, but he's nowhere near the level of the other first round receivers. Green Bay has been spreading the ball around, so it's not all his fault, but the WR1 hype was overblown. That's a C-. 24th, Donovan Jackson. One of the few bright spots on a struggling Vikings team. He's done everything they've asked of him, and while the team has issues elsewhere, he's been reliable. That's an A-. 25th, Jaxson Dart. What a pick. Everyone thought this might be a reach, but now it's paying off big time. He's been awesome and has completely changed the energy in New York. The Giants nailed this draft, and Dart looks like their guy. Another 26th, James Pierce Jr. This one's tricky. The player isn't bad, but the process was questionable. Atlanta traded back into the first round for him, thinking their original pick wouldn't be this valuable. And now they're one of the worst teams in football. Given the situation and the limited production, this gets a C-. 27th, Malachi Starks. The Ravens always seem to find ways to keep reloading on defense, and Starks fits right in. He's been solid, making plays, and showing the kind of football IQ that makes Baltimore's defense tick. He's not the reason for their struggles. A dash. 28th, Tyleik Williams. He's been really good for Detroit, which is impressive given how hard it is for rookie D-tackles to hit the ground running. He's ahead of schedule, and that's an A dash 29th, Josh Connerly. He's holding up well despite the team's chaos at quarterback, which is no small task for a rookie tackle. He's showing poise, athleticism, and solid development. Another A-. 30th, Maxwell Harrison. Small sample size, only a couple games, but he's looked great in those. You can see the potential, but you can't give him an A yet based on limited snaps. A B is fair with upside to grow. 31st, Jahad Campbell. Playing on an elite defense has helped him, and while he's had a few shaky moments, he's more than held his own. He's going to be a long-term piece there. B+, and finally with the 32nd pick, Josh Simmons. The Chiefs needed help badly up front, and Simmons has been exactly what they were hoping for. He's been thrown into the fire, but hasn't flinched. A for now, and it could be even higher by season's end. Overall, it's still early, but this first round has already shown us a mix of hits, misses, and question marks. Some of these guys, like Egbuka, Warren, and Dart, look like immediate home runs. Others, like Nolen, Grant, and Golden, are leaving their fan bases wondering what could have been, but that's the beauty of draft grades. They're snapshots in time. Check back in a year, and half of these will look totally different. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know which grades you agree or disagree with, which rookies have surprised you the most, and who do you think I was too harsh on? We'll revisit this again later in the season, because in the NFL, things change fast, and these rookies still have plenty of time to rewrite their stories.